All right, welcome to this part of our work order series where we're going to be tackling requests. And during this video, the things that we're going to be taking a look at, we're going to look at the general overview of the Express Request module. We're going to be looking at best practices as far as how to set it up with grid properties, what grid properties you should be using. We're going to look at how to manage your requests. And then we're also going to be taking a look at using the classification field for planning and scheduling, and finally converting those requests into work orders. So let's get started. Okay, so within Express Maintenance, when you want to look at your requests, all you got to do is go to the Maintenance tab, then go to your Work Orders tab, and then click on Requests. And it's important that you know that your Requests tab is not for maintenance personnel to enter requests. It is for production or office staff or anybody outside of maintenance who needs to request a work order through Express Request. And Express Request is a sister software that comes with Express Maintenance that you use and issue out to your facility production staff or office staff. And here is what Express Requests look like. So you would log in, or the requester would log in, and then it would display their name. They would simply pick the unit or piece of equipment that they want to request a work order for, identify that equipment's location. In this case, we'll say machine shop. The priority, they can pick whatever priority they want. The date desired is whatever date that they want, and then there you can use reference and service. Now, the thing that I want to highlight here is that the fields location, well, really equipment, location, request priority, and services are all customizable. So you decide what shows up in those. You show up what decides up in the unit equipment by identifying what equipment you want to show up in Express Request. And the way that you do that is in equipments, you would identify show in Express Request. So if there is some equipment that you don't want them to be able to submit work requests for, then you would do that. You would identify or remove that piece of equipment from Express Request by unchecking this box. In order to modify the locations, you would go into Administration and modify the locations. And that's all the locations. And then, well, these are all of the sites, and then you would get into all the locations. That's how you modify that one. If you wanted to modify the request priority, then you would go up into Administration, go to your codes, and then find your priority of requests. And here they are. So you can modify those. And then last but not least, your services. If you wanted to modify your services, all you would need to do is go into go into your list of services, and then any one of these services that you mark as in request, here they are. And notice that we categorize them by repair. Any one of those could be inside Express Request. So you decide what goes in there. And if you do that and you really make it really easy for requesters to use Express Request, you'll get a lot more compliance with using it, and it'll help you. They can be your eyes and ears if you really empower your production and office staff to do so. So that's how you would set that up. So let me just make sure that this is clear. The folks that use Express Request are your supervisors, your production, your operators, your office staff, anybody who you want to be able to submit work order requests, but not actually have access to Express Maintenance. So once we get into requests, and again, you go to Maintenance, Work Orders, Requests. Now what I'm looking at is I'm looking at all of the different requests that have been submitted. Now you have a couple different options up here. I can use this button by selecting a request and assigning that to a work order. I can also do that down here. This one right here will print the request item. So if you have an approval system where you actually need supervisors or managers to approve your requests, you can print that. And when I select the button, to print, it's going to put that into my maintenance request form, and it'll tell me who the requester was, what site, location, what unit, and the actual requested service and notes by the requester, and that can be helpful. So then you also can just print the request list, and then of course you have your help screen. So another thing that I want to share with you is you can use the Express Maintenance mobile app to review and submit requests. If you want to give requesters the ability to submit requests through our Express Maintenance tablet app, then you would just open up, you would assign the user a mobile app license, and then give them the ability, remove all other access except for requests, and then they would only see these requests. But you can do that through the mobile app. And then as far as the workflow is concerned, I'm going to get into best practice as far as how to set up all of this here in a little bit, but just so that you guys can see in this video, whenever you select a request, again, to convert it to a work order, you can use this button or this button. We'll use this one. And then here is our scheduler. And you'll see this throughout several different videos. It's the same scheduler, whether you're going from a request or a service. And if you leave the schedule date blank, then it will simply fill it in with the requested date. And then that will be a key marker for you. Under category, you would obviously pick demand. Under group, you would pick one of your breakdown codes. In this case, we'll just say it's electrical. Classification, if I know what's wrong with it and I need to, and there's no reason to investigate it, and I know I have the parts, I can move this all the way to scheduled. If I don't know what's wrong with it, and we're going to get into this in more detail later, as far as how to plan and schedule, you could just mark it as needs reviewed and then categorize that in your work order overview. Then your priority, you can identify this, your own priority, work group, technician, again, up to you. And then hit proceed, and that converts it to a work order, and we will look at the rest of the process on how to complete requested work orders in another video.